My name is Ross Curley. I coordinate the Rural Transport Programme with SECAD. South and East Cork Area Development, or SECAD, deliver rural transport right across South and East Cork. Essentially our services are split into two types of service. The main type of service we deliver here through the Rural Transport Programme is a collect and connect type service, where we collect rural dwellers and bring them to their local town or village. The really unique aspect of rural transport is that these people are collected at their front door and brought to their local town or village, where they go about their business, be it a bit of shopping, collecting their pension, or maybe it's just a social outlet to have a cup of coffee.
This community bus service to bring the eligible people into town shopping on once a week, and people that don't have any other way of getting into town shopping. Now, they don't have to be elderly. The service is open to everyone. If you have a bus pass, all the better, it's free. If you don't have a bus pass, you pay a £5 return, which is a nominal fee, and for some of the passengers it's their only trip out of the house for the whole week. They come into town and do the shopping, and it's quite essential that it's kept going, you know.
Well, it means a lot, like, and I'd be disappointed now if it was cut off or anything, like, you know. I'd miss it a lot. It's very, very good, and I know drivers are very good and very helpful and everything, like, you know. So I get to do the bit of shopping and everything, and I travel every weekend with you. Yeah. It's great to be picked up at the door. I sometimes have to get my tablets at the chemist and everything, like, you know.
Well, I think the service is great, especially for people who have no car or anything. That lady there now, like, you know, it's very handy for her. She'd have to get a taxi to go into town otherwise, you know. So it's very good, really, very good service.
From speaking to passengers, you'll see that a lot of people know the service exists and does help people living in rural areas. And we see some people knowing it exists, and as they need it, they come on board.
So neighbours of ours told us about the service and how good it was and how kind you are. So now we started using the service, and we find it very, very good. We find the bus drivers and the helpers very helpful. We find all the company on the bus is very good for us and very good for Neil's with his complaint. Well, we couldn't speak highly enough about the bus. We couldn't. We're very grateful to the bus. We use it every Friday, and we use it then the last Saturday of the month to go to Cork. We come to you all to draw the pension. Neil's might have to go to the doctor. We get our hair cut, do bits of shopping here and there. We kind of start at Super Value, then we come to Tesco, and then we go to Lidl, because we like the bit of exercise, we like the bit of walking, and we'd meet friends of ours around you all, wouldn't we? Have a cup of coffee, and we meet friends and people like that passes away an hour for us. We started doing art and pottery then in Youghal, which was very good for Neil's with his complaint.
Well, some of the people would go off their game if they're at home all the time and nobody to talk to and nobody to get out. Even if it is only once a week, there's one passenger actually on the bus stops at the post office, and she goes and cashes in her pension cheque once every week as well. So without the bus, she couldn't go and collect her pension.
The services are very unique in that they go beyond transport from A to B. There's a real social outlet. You see great camaraderie and great fun, great social interaction on the services themselves. If you step onto a service, one of the first things you'll notice is the involvement between the passengers. Even with the driver, you know, they know the driver, they know him by name. They see these people as their friends, you know. It's not merely an A to B service.
No, ladies, don't forget your seatbelts. I have to keep reminding you of the seatbelts every day.
So Mary Fox, they call me now, but he's gone anyway.
Because you might be here for long days and mightn't see anybody, like. We have no laugh and everything and chatting. We do, yeah.
We're kind of isolated, as you know, where we are, and we kind of keep to ourselves. So we did make an awful lot of new friends, didn't we, Neil's? We did. Through the bus, we did, really, we did. And we saw parts of Youghal that we never saw before. You know, travelling, picking up people now and all that. And it was the best thing we were sorry we didn't use it even when we had our own transport. for the company and all that. We were sorry we didn't use it then. If you have a problem, you can talk about a problem, or they'll talk about a problem, or if the dog was sick, you tell them the dog was sick, you know, simple things now like that, that makes it interesting.
And then it's an outing, like for them as well, you know.
Yeah.
You know, they have the few hours in the morning, which is great. And they meet people, they meet half the other buses in, you all as well, like. So.
And that's really the aim. It's social inclusion, it's keeping people in their homes, it's connecting rural communities to each other and to local towns. On return leg, the driver will help them with their shopping or any goods they bought in the local town, help them right into their front door. This makes the service really unique.
And they're very helpful with the shopping, they'll bring it into the back door. And
some of the passengers wouldn't be able to carry their shopping even into the door, and I would bring it into the kitchen and set it up on the kitchen table for them, you know. Not every passenger, but some passengers who need a little bit of extra help, we want to give the extra help to anyone who needs it, you know. The way I look at it is, someday I might be old myself, you never know, I could be glad of this bus.
So that's the nature of the service. We work off a relatively small budget, but I feel deliver a really valuable, worthwhile service on a weekly basis.
If the rural transport scheme wasn't here, there would be people living at home, maybe have to go into sheltered accommodation or something because they couldn't manage. They had no way of getting in and out of town or whatever. So if they haven't got access to essential services, they'd have to go to sheltered accommodation. That's definite for a few of the passengers, yeah.